इसी टाइम पास क्या फर्क पड़ता है, कोई दिक्कत नहीं, पता नहीं, जो थारी राय सो हमारी राय, nothing to do, nowhere to go, देखो सुनो मत बोलो, wherever, whenever, whatever you are, be 100% करे नाटक, किसी को आओ मत कहो, किसी को जाओ मत कहो, ना कुछ पाना ना कुछ खोना, who asked you live at zero complete level, मौज में रहो, be happy. Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. We are studying Brahmanande Yogananda, 11th chapter of Panchadashi. The foundation should be clear, then the experience is possible. The foundation is Brahmananda. What is the Brahmananda? See? Brahma means infinite. Ananda means infinite bliss. So if we are all seeking in our life only happiness, nothing else. But that happiness we are seeking from something else than ourselves. Therefore, we run after the 5 objects, Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha, through the respective sense organs and try to indulge and get happiness. But after some time, the happiness gained through this indulgence is also stale. Mind cannot remain attracted toward the same thing. Then the second thing is, we imagine if I get that much, then I will get happy. So we keep on running after the wealth. There also we fail. Then we start imagining, if I get married, I will be happy. And then nobody gets married to become miserable. Can you imagine? If I want to get married, I want to become miserable. That's a different issue. So, all our struggle is, we are seeking happiness either through the worldly objects or indulgence or collecting things and beings. And yet we have failed. Therefore, now we go into the next step. What is the meaning of Brahmananda? So it is not dependent on anything, because other than it there is nothing. Therefore, we have to now analyze our experiences. Any experience which involves interaction between the two factors, experiencer and experienced, that happiness is not Brahmananda, because it is dependent on the object, or it is dependent on our mood of indulgence. Therefore, it is qualified happiness, it is not bliss, it is not absolute happiness. Then we have to again analyze our experiences. Is it only an imagination, Brahmananda, or it is real that we are all experiencing? Then we are told that experience where knower known knowledge duality is valid, that happiness is not the ultimate, because it is divided in 3 parts. then is it only imagination, Brahmananda, or what? No, it is not imagination. Then you have to understand that experience where the Triputi, experiencer, and experienced is not valid, that experience is Brahmananda. Where it is in the deep sleep or under anesthesia or when we are drunk. Under three conditions, there is no sense of otherness, and therefore there is a possibility Brahmananda is not imagination, but it is real. Now the question comes, if we tell that yes, I have experienced Brahmananda, then there also Triputi has happened. I, object is Brahmananda, experienced. So this is fake. This is not acceptable. See? So up to here we have come. Oh, we have come up to here. Yes. So now in the 29th mantra, Advaita Pratyayo Dvaita Anupalambhena Suptivata Iti Chet Suptiradvaiteti Atra Drishtantamiraya Pralayaha, in case of deep sleep. Here also we have to understand two factors. All our knowledge should be with reference to individuality and totality. See, individuality is with reference to a particular individual. Totality is with reference to the totality, everybody. So, as is my sleep, so is the sleep of others. And all of us are together in deep sleep. In deep sleep, we are not separate. If we can digest this statement, a lot of changes will come in our life. See? So, as we go to sleep, where this world disappears, there is nothing. But do we experience our absence? No. So when we are rejecting everything, all the achievements, failures, etc., and we want to go to sleep, what for? See, so there could be two reasons. One reason is we are tired of this world. Second reason is we want to discover something higher. And therefore everyone wants to go to sleep. So in the deep sleep, what is our experience? First of all, I had very peaceful sleep. So we have experienced peace. Peace means lack of otherness. Wherever there is other, dvitiyatvai bhayam bhavati. Wherever there is a sense of otherness, there is fear, there is anger, there is desire, there is frustration, and the samsara begins. Therefore, in the state of total pralaya, so our sleep is individual pralaya, and the totality, the whole creation is the total pralaya. Now see how this is to be understood clearly. When we sleep as somebody. Suppose I sleep as a husband. Next to my wife is there. I sleep. Now in that sleep, I am neither husband nor anybody. I am. What is that? I am unqualified existence. When I get up from my sleep, will I forget who is next to me? No, because the husband was put to sleep, he only wakes up. But nothing happens to me. So when I am husband or I am not husband, it makes no difference to me. So this one, which is the unqualified existence, that experience which does not involve operation of any means of knowledge, that is Brahmananda. And therefore, Suptivat, in the deep sleep, there is non-dual. Similarly, in the total pralaya, also there is non-dual, because the Dvaita Anupalambhe, there is no the duality available. Therefore, in the deep sleep, there is non-dual experience. This is the conclusion. Now here a question is raised. Atra drishtantam iraya. Kindly tell us some example that in deep sleep there is no duality. How do you establish it? So, drishtanta, repeat after me. Drishtanta parisuptischet ahote kaushalam mahat swasuptim na vetyasya parasuptau tu ka katha. If you are giving example of other person's sleep, Drishtanta para suptischet. Yes, when somebody is sleeping, what happens? So you are giving the example of somebody else's sleep. Why don't you give example of your own sleep? When somebody is sleeping, what is his experience? He is nobody and he is happy and therefore he snores. Happiness cannot be silent, is it not? Whenever you are married, it happens. Is it like a morning? What happened? Oh, poor fellow is getting married here. No, that is the only moment in the life of a person. He is happy for the sake of happiness. Afterwards, it is the same thing. Therefore, drishtanta parasuptischet. Yeah, इसी बंद कर दो सब. Drishtanta parasuptischet, if you take the example of other people's sleep, then you are very, very wise indeed. You do not know your own deep sleep. What is in the deep sleep? Nothing. That you don't give example. No, other people. So, your swasupti na vetti asya parasuptautu ka katha. So how can you know that some other person is sleeping, he is experiencing bliss? It is possible, sir. Don't think I am that dumb. I am, but not that. How? Nishchishtatvat parasupto yatha ahamiti chetana. Now the student is arguing. Nishchishtatvat. When other person is sleeping, all his activities are suspended. He is not doing anything. Yatha aham, as me. Therefore, I can know from the sleep status of others, it is just like me. Then udahartun sushupteste swaprabhatvam balad bhavet. Then if you are giving this example, that means your experience of deep sleep is the same, isn't it? So in deep sleep, you are alone. Like you know the sleep of others. You are the knower, others is known. But don't you know your sleep? Yes, I know. Then who knows that? You only know. So that knowledge where knower-known knowledge division does not happen, that is the reality. And for this, my friends, I told you very simple technique. Experience without experiencer. There cannot be simple spiritual practice than this. Then how to practice it? Dekho suno mat bolo. Don't fight with your mind. Like suppose, you have got diabetes. Then, just don't take sweet. No, but I want to take sweet. Then you suffer. In the same manner, our human mind also cannot have same wavelength with everybody in the world. Wavelengths change. But if we have to be with those changing wavelengths people around, this question I am answering, which is unasked question. But Swamiji, if with somebody our wavelength doesn't match and we have to stay in the same house, what should we do? This question I am hearing. Hey friends, so learn to ignore. Learn to ignore. Whenever you have given importance to anything or anybody in your life, that thing or body will create chaos in your life. There is no way. You have given importance, so you have to delete it. See, friends, therefore, निष्ठेतत्वात् परसुप्ता यथाहमिति सदा उदाहरणं सुषुप्तेस्ते स्वप्रभत्तं बलात् भवेत्. Therefore, in our deep sleep, it is non-dual knowledge, and non-dual knowledge is bliss. The knowledge gained through duality is dependent. If I am happy in a particular place, then I am dependent on that place. Like, many old people in Mumbai, I can tell you, when I cross that Shivaji Park, on the parapet wall, all oldies are sitting there. And everybody has got his own place. And they will be coming there in the evening. They will not go to satsang, they will not chant Lord's, they'll come over there and sit there. And same old stories and all that. We keep on watching the same thing, who has come. There is nothing charm in their life. But if you ask them, see, instead of staying here in Bombay, why don't you go to nice, Lonavala is beautiful, or you can go to Mahabaleshwar. No, Swami, it's boring there. Why? There is no struggle there. Here, all the they are very happy. This happiness of misery, we don't want to give up. They are miserably happy or happily miserable. See, friends, we have to learn this. Therefore, udahartam sushuptesha swaprabhatvam balat bhaved. Therefore, learn one thing. Do not compromise your peace of mind in this world. Don't try two things in life. Number one, don't try to make anybody happy. Why? We belong to democracy. Everybody has the right to be miserable. Second thing, don't try to make anybody miserable. Why? No need. Everybody is self-sufficient. Then what? Just as you come here, sit in the chair and go. Do you develop any relationship with the chair? No. Whatever you hear, do you digest it? No. Then what for? Time pass. Hey friends, therefore, whatever we have given importance to, that becomes the source of misery. If we have given importance, we have to delete it. Indriyani na drishtantaha tathapyange karoshitam idameva swabhaprabhatvam yadbhanam sadhanir vina. This is the principle I have told you so many times. Na indriyani na cha drishtantaha. For the deep sleep, none of the sense organs function, and there is no example like na drishtantaha. Tatha angi karoshitam, and yet you accept the deep sleep. So deep sleep we know by what? Like, the colors and forms, how do you know? By the eyes. The sounds, how do you know? By the ears. The joy and sorrows, how know? By the mind. The honor and the dishonor, by the intellect. In deep sleep, we have none of them. Then how do you know that you are happy in the deep sleep? See, friends, this is what we told you in simple English term or Hindi term. Pramana Nirapeksha Anubhuti, that experience which does not involve operation of any means of knowledge. So drop sense organs, drop mind, drop intellect. Be attentive. Sense objects, when you drop, sense organs are already dropped. First step. Where are the experiences happening? They are happening in the mind. And what are the experiences in the mind? Joy and sorrows. So objects, when they are interacted, Either they give us joy or sorrows. Good. Now the question is, who is experiencing joy and sorrows? The I factor. So these three things, object of experience, sense organs, etc. Experience of the object, mind. Experiencer of the joy and sorrows is the I factor, Vijnanamaya Kosh. So we have to drop these three while living in this world. How it can be dropped? You can't close your eyes and move in the world. You can't close your ears and move in the world. Then move in the world normal. Dekho suno. But mat bolo. No comment. Don't get involved. That experience where our faculties are non-operational, although they are functional. See? If a deaf person says, you can abuse me, I don't care. You cannot hear, man. How can you hear? How can you get disturbed? Therefore, the spiritual life is not becoming dumb. It is not becoming like an idiot. No, you are absolutely normal. But none of the experiences create any experiencer. This is all. So, idameva saprabhatvam. This is called as self-established experience. How do you know there were 20 people here? I have seen with my own eyes. But there was no light in that hall. No, I thought there were so many people there. Then after light came, then there was nobody. See? So when we want to say something, we have to have the means of knowledge. Either sense organs, mind or intellect. But when we are in deep sleep, all the three factors are absent. Therefore, we know ourselves without any means of knowledge. This is called here idameva swaprabhatvam yad bhanam sadhanehi vina. So that experience which does not involve any means of knowledge is Brahmananda. See, sounds can be heard as long as your ears are functional. Colors and forms can be seen as long as your eyes are functional. Joy and sorrows can be experienced as long as your mind is functional. But when they fail, do you think we don't remember or we do not know ourselves? Idameva swaprabhatvam yadbhanam sadhane evina. Therefore, my friends, when we are day-to-day life living, try this simple spiritual practice. I am not giving you mantra, diksha, go to Himalayas, go to Kumbh Mela, no, nothing. Wherever, whatever you are, be 100%. That's it. How to be 100%? Experience, but no experiencer born. What happens with us? We comment, we evaluate, we suggest. For that, our Mahamantra is, who asked you? See? How important it is. But we are habitual and therefore we cannot know the truth. Now continuing further. Stam advaita swaprabhatve vada suptau katham sukham katham shrunu dukkham tada nasti tataste shishyate sukham. Okay, sir. Now again question is raised by the student. Stam advaita swaprabhatve. Okay, we agree. The non-dual is self-element. Agreed. Vada, kindly tell, supto sukham katham. In the deep sleep, how there can be happiness? See, how deep is the inquiry? That is why these texts that we are studying, Panchadashi, you will not see anywhere satsang going on this thing. Everywhere, Nanda ke Anand Bhayo Jai Kanaiya Lal ki. They cannot go beyond it. Masses are like that. Like I told you probably the other day, Santa Ganeshwar was a great yogi and well established in the truth, but he never told that to anybody. For the masses, Harimukhe Mana, Punyachi Ganana Kodakari. Masses is okay. See friends. Therefore, we do not expect huge crowds, even if they come, they will throw stones at us. ठीक है यार नहीं हो गए फिर क्या हुआ? All happening ends. If we get good sleep, okay, फिर क्या होता है? Is it a story or what? Therefore, they are called as kathakar. Bhagavad Katha, Ramayana Katha, and there the same thing goes on. Bhagwan Ram has gone and Sita ji was adamant, I will also come. A typical lady, a typical wife, Indian wife, she will insist on whatever she has to do. No, beta, aisa karo. It is very difficult, it is a forest and anything can... No, I want to come. But why? There are 3 at home. It is easier to face the tiger and lions, but not to face the 3 mother-in-laws at home. See? Somebody asked this kind of question to me. My answer also at the same time. Why Sitaji did not stay at home? Why Bhagwan Ram was hiding behind the tree and killing the Vali? Arey yaar, they have no problem, why you have a problem? See, Rama had no problem, Vali had no problem. Why you are having problem? These kind of questions come because you are not self-oriented. You only want to collect data. I have heard this Mahatma, I have heard that Mahatma, I have done this thing, I have studied Gita, Upanishad. You touch and the mantras come out. But there is nothing, experience. So, Swatma Advaita Prabhatve Vada Supto Katham Sukha. We agree, yes, the self is self-illumined, no other knowledge is required, no other light is required. Supto Katham Sukham, but where from the happiness comes? How can we say in deep sleep there was happiness? Shruno. Now answer is given by the teacher. Shruno. Tada dukkham nasti. In deep sleep there is no misery. Therefore, tataste shishyate sukham. Therefore, absence of misery is happiness. How simple it is. But here there is a catch. Absence of misery is happiness. Therefore, happiness is of the nature of absence. Oh, yes. Logic. So, tadaste shishyate sukham. Now, the topic continues. Andasan api anandasyat. Viddo aviddo atharogyapi. Arogiti shruti praha. Taccha sarve jana viduhu. A person who is blind during the waking state, he is not blind in deep sleep. Oh, beautiful analysis. A person who is blind in the waking is not blind in the deep sleep. Then viddaha aviddaha atha, having some health issues during the waking, in the deep sleep those health issues are not there. And there rogi api arogi iti. He may be having diabetes in the waking state. In deep sleep he is not having diabetes. Praha taccha sarve jana viduhu. And this is how all of us know. Now continuing the thought further. Na dukkha abhava matrena sukham loshta shiladishu. Now again questions or doubts are raised. Okay, only absence of misery is the happiness. Then stones and bricks, they are not miserable. Therefore, do you call the stones are happy? See how deep the inquiry is. Dukkha abhava matrena na sukham loshta shiladishu dvaya abhavasya drishtatvat iti che te vishamam vachaha. If you are giving this kind of argument, your argument doesn't stand. This is not the right kind of argument. How mukha dainya vikasabhyam paradukha sukhohanam. By looking at the face of a person, we can know whether that person is happy or miserable. See? My friends, I tell you, the other day somebody, today only, I was in Lonavala before coming here. So, somebody was talking to me. I said, you talk, it's okay, but I want to ask you, what is bugging you? Why are you disturbed so much? Amiji, don't say this thing before others. I am disturbed. Then how do you know? I said, your face, your eyes, they tell. Friends, the quality of our mind is reflected on the quietness of your eyes and the brightness of your skin. Because mind alone is reflected in the whole body. See? Suppose we get suddenly some bad news. Immediately everything changes. See? Therefore, mukha dainya vikasabhyam paradukha sukhohanam. We can know by the expression on the face that whether other person is happy or miserable. Dainya adi abhavataha loshte. But in case of the stone, etc., there is no possibility of being happy or being miserable. Therefore, dukkha duho na sambhavet. Therefore, by looking at the stones, etc., you cannot say that that person is happy or miserable. But we do see by people from their face whether they are happy or miserable. Now, swakiye sukadukhetu nohaniya tatastayo. When it comes to our own joy or sorrows, do we go and ask others, excuse me, am I happy? Excuse me, am I disturbed? Other people's symptoms give us some idea that they are happy or miserable. But our own experience is not demanding any symptom. We know I am happy, I am miserable. How do we know that? Therefore, swakiya sukadukhetu nohaniyo tatastayo bhavaha vedyaha anubhavitya eva tat abhavapihi nanyataha. Therefore, I am happy or I am miserable is known by me to me. Now we go one step further. This is a very simple and very deep thought. Tatha sati swasuptau cha dukkha bhavo anubhutitaha virodhi dukkarahityat sukham nirvignam ishyatam. This being so, that we know our joy and sorrows without anybody telling us. Similarly, tatha sati, this being so, swasuptau, in our own deep sleep, dukkha bhava and abhava anubhutitaha. Whether there is joy or sorrow is our experience, and this experience does not involve any means of knowledge. Normally, what we ask, are you miserable? So there are two components, misery, and as a result of the misery, a miserable entity is born. Two things. So in the deep sleep, swasuptau, dukkha bhava and abhava, anubhutitah. The joy, presence of the joy or sorrows is our experience. Now, virodhi dukkha rahityat. And in the deep sleep we know there is no misery. Therefore, there has to be sukham nirvignam ishyatam. Therefore, in the deep sleep, there is absolute bliss. This is still not complete. We have to go still further, step by step. This is what happens with all of us. In the deep sleep, we experience happiness and joy. Therefore, we want to sleep more and more. You cannot. Many people come to satsang only for that. Because here, the I has disappeared. Moment I comes, the disturbance will. So, virodhi dukkha rahitya sukham nirvignam ishyatam. Tatha sati sasuptau dukkha abhava anubhutitah. Now continuing further. But again doubts are raised. When we go to sleep, we prepare so many things. Mahattara prayasena mrudu shayyadi sadhanam. We put lot of efforts. That the bed should be good, it should be Dunlop, it should be nice, it should have a nice white bed sheet, it should have good fragrance, and the bed cover should be nice. So many things before we go to sleep. Mahattara prayasena. How much efforts we put for that. Mrudu shayyadi sadhanam. Kutaha sampadyate suptau sukham chet tatra na bhavet. So, in the deep sleep, Mrudu shayyasa adi sadhanam, for what it is prepared. If there is a deep sleep, gives you a bliss, why you prepare all these things? Because in deep sleep there is no happiness. See the logic. Because you are insisting the bed should be comfortable, beautiful, and then you go to sleep. So actually you are getting happiness from the bed. It is not a Brahmananda. The student is committed. Because unless all doubts are removed, you will never be able to get established in this knowledge. Therefore, where from the happiness come if the good beds are not there? Now, another question is raised. Dukkha nashartham eva etat iti ched. Roginastada. Good bed, etc. is required, if you say, then that person must be unhealthy. See? For the removal of the miseries, a good bed is required. Therefore, that person must be unhealthy, rogi. So, bhavatu aroginaha tatu etat sukha yaiveti nishchinu. But again we see that this is also seen. Those who are healthy people, they also want a good bed and all that. Those who are not having any health issue, they also want good bed. So, having a good bed is not the criteria whether you are healthy or unhealthy. Everybody likes good bed. So, sukhaya iti. Then, what we have to understand? Tarhi, therefore, sadhana janyatvat sukham vaiyashikam bhavet. So if the happiness is on account of a good bed, etc., it is objective happiness. It is not subjective. Bhavet eva atra nidraya purvam shayya asanadikam. But this happiness got out of the good bed, etc., sadhana janyatva, because of some comfort of some object, it is nidraya purvam, before sleep, not in the sleep. Shayya asanadijam. Then, continuing further, nidrayam tu sukham yattat janyate kena hetuna. In the deep sleep, you are not aware of your bed. Where from the happiness comes? So, nidrayam tu sukham yattat janyate kena hetuna. Then, sukha bhi mukha dhihi adav Paschad Majjet Pare Sukhe. Now be attentive. When we are tired or not tired, we come to our house, nicely lie down a beautiful bed, comfortable. What for? We are orienting towards happiness. Therefore, Sukha Abhimukha Dhi. Now our mind is seeking happiness. Sukha Abhimukha. And therefore, first of all, nice bed, good fragrance, no mosquitoes, good temperature, and nice music, slow, soft music. And in that, what we happening? We are becoming bliss oriented. So these are the preparation to become bliss oriented. And after the sleep begins, thereafter, let there be anything, it makes no difference. See? Paschat majjed pare sukhe. Therefore, understand this basic principle that we are all doing or not doing anything only for seeking Brahmananda. Why a person gets married? To become miserable. But he had that imagination. If I get married, I will become happy and therefore I must get happiness through marriage. He does it. But then, how long the married happiness lasts in lives? Not long. Hardly few years, if it is, I am right, I don't know that. Hardly for few years. Thereafter, tu, my, tu. Kabaddi, kabaddi, kabaddi. Therefore, those who are in the mid-40s, that is the ripe time for divorces. That is the time many people get into divorce only because we are fed up of each other. And we are seeking something different. See, friends. Therefore, first we prepare bed comforts so that we become happiness oriented. And that happiness orientation goes deep when we drop all the comforts of our bed, etc. See, friends, it is so simple, it's not difficult. So, what is exactly the process of sleep? Don't demonstrate. We discard everything in the world. Our achievements, failures, relations, possessions, everything is discarded. Then we are home. The home is also discarded. Then we are in the bed. And slowly, what is the last mantra that we chant in our mind? I want to sleep. I want to sleep. And then we start our struggle to sleep. First, we are in the Shavasana. Sleep is not coming. Then, I want to sleep, therefore I turn on the left side. But still it is not coming. Okay, let me turn the right side. Then I turn on the right side. What for? To sleep. But I am not getting sleep. Then I turn on my stomach, take a Bhujangasana. And in that struggle, I want to sleep, I want to sleep. When this I is dropped, the sleep begins. See, be very attentive. If we know this, then it is Brahmananda. If we do not know this, this is Nidrananda. See the difference? Everything is in knowledge. In the bhog also, The I enjoys and thereafter suffers. I am enjoying. I is born. In deep sleep, I is not born. In the waking, the ego is 100%. In the dream, the ego is 50%. In the deep sleep, there is no ego. Therefore, sleep without a sleeper. Waking experience without a waker. Dream experience without a dreamer is Brahmananda. So, Sukhabhi Mukha Dhiradau Paschat Majjet Pare Sukhe. Thereafter, the buddhi dissolves in the deep being that we are. Deep means what? Like the gold is deep in the ornament. What does it mean? Gold is deep in the ornament. It means gold is the substratum and the names and forms are superimposed. The water is deep in the waves. Means on the water, the name and the form are superimposed. In the same manner, in the depth of all our experiences, which are those Jagrad Vyaprutibihi Shrantaha Vishramyatha Avirodhini Apanite Swasta Chittaha Anubhavet Vishaye Sukham. Now here our sleep is further analyzed. Explained. Jagrad Vyaprutibihi Shrantaha. We are working hard whole day and then we are tired. Then Vishramya, then we want to get relaxed, and after having relaxed, Virodhini. Now, what is the opposite of the joy? Is the tiredness, exhaustion, etc. Apanite, all of them disappear. Thereafter, Swastha Chittaha. Then his mind has become calm and calm. Swastha means what? Swastha means Sthita. When you are working, our mind is there. I have to go there, I have to come here. See, I'll tell you today's example. Last night, after finishing the lecture here, I told I'm in a hurry. I drove straight away to Lonavala, reached there at 11 o'clock or so, finishing the dinner 12:30. Next morning, that means today morning, from 8 onward, there was a conference going on. I was there up to 2:30. Then 2:30, I ran over here, then finished my bath and ran over here for you. So I'm tired. And what do I want? You can afford. I cannot afford to sleep while giving talk. See? Therefore, apanite, all the sorrows are to be given up. Then swastha chittaha. Now I am relaxed. When I am in the bed, relax. And then swastha chitta, then vishaye sukham anubhavet. Then we start indulging with something or the other, and then we start imagining that I am getting happiness after having a cup of tea. But actually this is not true. Then Atma bhi mukha dhivruttau swanandam pratibimbati anubhayaya atrapi triputya shantim apnuyat. Be very attentive. Like yesterday I told you, when the mirror is facing outside, the world is reflected in the mirror. When the same mirror is facing the self, then our face is seen, not the world. Exactly this is what happens in deep sleep. Our intellect, what we call technically Vijnanamaya Kosha. When it is extrovert, the world is reflected in this. What is not reflected in our mind doesn't exist for us. Because everything is happening only in the mind. Nothing happens to body. Nothing happens to Paramatma. There is no light in electricity only. There is no light in the bulb only. When the two come together, then the light comes. Exactly the same way. There is no samsara in Paramatma. There is no samsara in Prakriti. When Paramatma Prakriti come together, then the joy sorrows happen. See? So when we switch off the light, what happens to the light? Does it go anywhere? Does it die? And when we switch on, is it born? See the difference. Same thing. When Atma Abhimukha Dhivruttau, when we go to sleep, we have discarded extrovertedness. Now the mind is Atma Abhimukha, facing its own source. And what happened? There, Swanandaha Pratibimbati. Swa Anandaha, the happiness of being. What we know, the happiness of becoming. I indulge in food, I become happy because of the food. I indulge in watching the movies, and then I become happy because of the movies. But are we happy because of something? No. Happiness is our nature. Therefore, when the Triputi or the Dvaita is discarded before going to sleep, we turn our mind or intellect towards its own source. There, the bliss is reflected. So, the happiness of the deep sleep is reflected happiness, not absolute happiness. If there is a donkey in front of the mirror, donkey will be reflected. If there is a beautiful girl will be reflected. Mirror will not say, hey, donkey, get away. Usko aane do. No. Exactly the same way. When our mind or intellect is reflecting toward the self, and what is the self? Is all bliss. So the bliss will be reflected. But when our mind is extrovert, the world will be reflected. And be attentive. If we understand this, then as the mirror is not influenced by the reflections, if we practice that, let us go through all experiences without becoming experiencer. The status of our mind is like that of a mirror. And for that, our Mahamantra, Dekho Suno Mat Bolo. When we comment, the mirror started talking. In one of the flights, I saw one movie, a very different type. There was, first of all, a nice frame picture. And in that frame picture, there was, ocean and sheep, and then the people, they are youngsters, children, etc. And suddenly, that frame started liquefying, and the water became real, and the characters became real, and the whole movie continued for about 1 hour, 2 hours. And afterwards, again, all of them went back into that picture. Nothing happened, but everything appears to be happening. See? So the frame is not disturbed. Same thing. Therefore, friends, take this as the real deep spiritual practice. I am not giving you mantra, etc. Dekho suno mat bolo. No need to comment. And when we don't comment, nobody is born. When nobody is born, then we understand the meaning. Nobody is happy. Somebody is always miserable. Nobody alone is happy. So, Atma Bhivukha Dhivruttau Swanandaha Pratibimbati. So, when we are in the process of deep sleep, the intellect is focusing to the source, which is bliss, Ananda Pratibimbati, Swa Ananda. In the worldly things, Ananda Para Ananda. Happiness from the worldly object, things and beings. But in the deep sleep, there is none other than me. So, Swa Ananda Pratibimbati. Anubhuya eva enam atrapi triputya Now this Ananda, which is before the entry into the deep sleep, is also tiring. Therefore, we want to sleep, but the sleep is not coming. We do this thing, that thing. I don't know what happened. Oh, whom did I meet? Oh, I talked to her before sleeping. That has disturbed my whole night. I don't know what I should do. Go on jumping on the bed here and there. I think I should go to the kitchen, open the fridge, take out the ice cream, eat nicely, and then change the topic. And again, and then start. See? Therefore, Anubhuya enam atrapi shrantim apnuyad. Because Tripurti is still born. You are experiencing the bliss before sleep is only at the level of the thought. The sleep has not yet begun. This is what we told you. When I go to sleep, ultimate is I want to sleep, I want to sleep, I want to sleep. When the I is also dropped, then I less sleep is Brahmananda. तश्रमस्य अनुपत्यर्थम जीवा धावेत परमात्मनि तेनैक्यं प्राप्य तत्रातु ब्रह्मानंद स्वयं भवेत्. Now tatra api, before going to sleep, the jivaha, the seeker, is tired. I am not getting sleep. See, he is tired. Tashramasya anupatyartha. So to remove that tiredness, exertion, and struggle to sleep, then what happened? Jivo dhavet paratmani. Then be attentive. Then the reflected bliss of the Brahman is also dropped. Be attentive. Reflected bliss of the Brahman is dropped means what? There is bliss, but no blissful personality is born. Meaning, I want to sleep, I want to sleep. Till such time I is there, we have not entered Brahmananda. When even the I disappears. See? One person asked me this question in one of the retreats. Very nice, helping a lot. But he used to sit at the end. He will never come and sit. And he asked, Swamiji, please help me. What? The moment you start talking, I sleep. I said, because I am anesthetic. Why this happens? I don't want to sleep. I want to hear. But I don't know why this happens. Because he has been doing so many things, run here and there, and the moment everything is quieted down, and then he sleeps. Because I is dropped. To drop that I, these are the simple techniques. Dekho suno man bolo, I is not created. We don't have to prove anything to anybody. Don't try to make anybody happy. Don't have to make anybody miserable. How simple life is. But under the disguise of spirituality, as people are more miserable, they are not miserable in average life. They are Brahman kahan, chodo yaar, be relaxed. So tas shamasya apanityartham jivo dhavet paratmani. Then ultimately the jiva, the one who wanted to sleep, he also has to be dropped. So be attentive. How the jiva can be dropped? How the husband can be dropped? When you go to sleep, you sleep together, husband and wife, and then how the husband is dropped? The same way, the jiva is also dropped. How the husband is dropped? He deletes the wife from his head. The moment the conditioning is dropped, the bliss is manifested. So tashramasya apanutyartham jivo dhavet paratmani tatra aikyam prapya. Then what happens to husband? He is now merged in the man. He is no more husband. Therefore, that husband who doesn't dare to look at even the feet of his wife, How he can get courage to snore so loudly in the deep sleep in the same bed? Because I am no more a husband. Say, friends. Therefore, Shramasya, tired of remaining as a husband, drop him. Now be attentive. When he drops to continue to be a husband, is the husband dying? Where does he go? In the same manner, I who wanted to sleep, when the sleep begins, where the eye goes? I will go there only, where when the bulb is fused, where the light goes. When we switch off the light, where the light from the bulb goes. When we switch on, is it the same light coming? Therefore, remember the basic. Jiva is not an individuality. It is a manifestation. See, like husband is not an individuality. Husband is a common noun. It is not a proper noun. Any dumb getting married to any dumbo is a husband, isn't it? Do we require any qualification? Anybody can be husband. But what happens? Instead of recognizing husband as a common noun, we take it as a proper noun and we suffer. Then what is to be done? Simple, take the experiences of the elder people. Jagi sarva sukhi asa ko nahi, vichari mana tuchi shodho nipai. Is there any husband in the world who is happy? No. You are one there. Very good. Life becomes so simple. But then we are so much buried under our miseries that we forget our own divinity. So, Dhavid Paratmani, Tatra Aikyam Prapya. So, when the Jiva Bhava is discarded, then Tatra Brahmanandaha Swayam Bhaved. So, the Jiva goes back to his source, Brahmananda. That is why Upanishad says, Ananda Deva Kalvimani Bhutani Jayante. In the deep sleep, all of us are happy because that is the experience of Brahmananda. So when we wake up, we come out of the Brahmananda. And therefore, when you practice being happy, you are reveling in God realization. But what happens? Instead of being happy, we want to become happy. Therefore, our Mahamantra is, Moj mein raho, be happy. Not become happy. If become happy, it will be go. It will not remain. But being is uncorrupted experience. So, tatraikyam prapya tatrato brahmanandaha swayam bhaved. Therefore, friends, this point, if we learn from our day-to-day experiences, and particularly the experience of our own sleep, one day it will click. Next time when you are going to sleep, observe what you have done the whole day. We drop everything, we come back, and then I am damn tired, and we are so tired that we just lie down and sleep. Because this I who was tired, he is dropped immediately. And then in the deep sleep, what do we get? Deep sleep is a bargain of complete loss. There you are nobody. There you have nothing. So for coming to that state of remaining nobody and having nothing, we struggle to go to sleep. If we are able to recognize that while we are playing the game of life, such Mahatmas are called as Jivan Mukta. We don't have to do anything. Just relax, relax. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.